Hi Internet, welcome to my YouTube channel where we do a daily crossword puzzle. Today we've got the Sunday New York Times puzzle posted on January 25th, 2026. The constructor is Mark MacLachlan, the editor is Will Shorts, and I'm John Appleseed, your host here on the channel. The title of today's puzzle is Alert, Alert, and that will, as is typical, be some kind of hint to the theme here. And I see some playing card symbols here in one of the clues. We'll see if more of those show up. Let's get into the puzzle. One across is baggage accessory, maybe an ID tag. I've seen that as something related to baggage a couple times. One down, major New York Stock Exchange events are initial public offerings, or IPOs. The stock exchange is abbreviated NYSE. To give us a hint, we'll have an abbreviation in the answer as well, IPOs. Two down, beat handily. To drub, maybe to give a drubbing. Three down, see you later. Could be ta-ta. Four down, deck out. Deck out as in decorate, maybe adorn. And five down, walk. Not sure. Home of Diego Velázquez's Las Meninas. I think that's the Prado Museum in Spain. 23 across, written in italics to give us a hint. This is one of our themed answers, and the title of the puzzle is Alert, Alert. So the clue is, that cabinet with plates looks awfully full. So kind of an alert, a warning that it might topple or something. Out of, not sure. Food court pizzeria for 26 across is Sparrow, the restaurant. 24 down, thingamabob, could be a doodad or a doohickey, something like that. A noble gas for 31 across, I think neon, maybe a noble gas. Walk is to go free, like a criminal. Walks, he gets off, he goes free, okay. Thingamabob, let's try doodad for that. 41 across, cheese in a wax coating is Edam. Nice crossword at cheese. My favorite clue for Edam is cheese that's made backwards. 6 down, cable company that was purchased by AT&T in 1999. I don't know. 7 down, what blank? No. 8 down is William, Edward, and Harry, for example. Are they royals? I don't know. 9 down, to a blank degree, kind of to a certain degree. Kind of fits, but it doesn't fit with the letters. 10 down, stage booster. No. 11 down, domain for salty dogs. Could be the sea. Salty dog can be a sailor. 12 down, urges to attack with on, maybe eggs on. And 13 down, what this hand has. Okay, I don't know much about poker or any other card games, so I think I'm just going to get crossing letters for that. 6 across is Apple TV comedy that received 20 Emmy nominations for its first season. A comedy, 20 Emmy nominations for its first season. I don't know. 21 across, I want to hear about that. No. And that cabinet with plates looks awfully full. Out of dish? Is dishes in here somewhere to give us a sense of the cabinet with plates? 27 across is some MIT grads for short. MIT graduates. Might be electrical engineers, double E's. What the blank? What's 33 across? It's good for the long haul. No. And 43 across, another themed answer. It's saying you completed the marathon in under 2 hours, which can't be right. No. What about 28 across? That's short. Resort amenity could be a spa. This hand has one pair. We've got a pair of aces. What's 29 down? Either side of a cheerleader's A. Gimme an A. Either side. No, I don't think I'm getting that. Let's try this corner. 14 across, in which baby spiders develop. I think spiders are born in an egg sac, possibly. 22 across, a makeshift replacement for a Kleenex. A napkin might be used as a last resort. In extremis. 25 across, triangular sail. Okay, not up on my sailing terminology. 14 down, fluency building subject. Fluency building. Could that be English as a second language, maybe? You could use your sleeve as a makeshift replacement for a Kleenex. 15 down, prosthetic facial feature of Peter Falk. He played Columbo, and he had a glass eye, I believe. So let's try sleeve. Somewhat messier than a napkin, but you got to do what you got to do, right? Let's try English as a second language, where you might build fluency in English. 25 across, triangular sail. Lateen is some kind of sailing rig. Lateen, is that what that is? Convey could be get across. That might be a T. 17 down, Pete, who co-wrote If I Had a Hammer. If I had a hammer, I'd hammer in the morning. I'd hammer in the evening, all over this land. I'd hammer out danger, I'd hammer out a warning. I'd hammer out love between my brothers and my sisters, all over this land. Ooh. One of my favorites, Pete Seeger wrote that, along with somebody else. Peter, Paul, and Mary made it a big hit, I think. So let's try Lateen for the triangular sail. I put in Aveeno for 18 down, the skincare company Aveeno. I think that works. And Football Snapper is the center. 30 across, Bob, who hosted America's Funniest Home Videos, Bob Saget. Sphere of creativity for 36 across. Might be some kind of scene, like the art scene, I think fits. Get across for convey. Then 43 across, yeah, it ends in error. It's saying you completed the marathon in under 2 hours, which can't be right. It's some kind of error. 29 down. Either side of a cheerleader's A. All I can think of is a cheer. Give me an A. And I just don't know what that is. Easily detached. Tenuous? I'm not sure that's right. 50 across, actress Edibiri of The Bear. I think that's Ayo Edibiri. 54 across, event for VIP customers. Don't know that. I'm going to try pair. I think this is one pair. But again, I don't know much about cards, so that could be wrong. But there is a pair of aces in that list. 43 across, that's the marathon one. 49 across, mix up. Don't know. 47 across, sneaker brand that popularized cantilever heels. Avia is a sneaker brand. Kind of orange, could be a navel orange. So let's try Avia or Avia. Don't know how that is pronounced. 38 across, private investigator, informally. A PI, or I've seen them called it Tech, T-E-C, but mostly kind of in British fiction. 45 across, Persian Gulf nation, could be Oman or Iran or Iraq. 51 across, is that a cough I hear? Sure, and cough into your sleeve. 58 across, the planets in our solar system, for example. I was going to say there are 9, because there are 9, they are a nonette, but there aren't 9 anymore, are there? There are 8, so they're an octet. Pluto has been demoted. Pioneering DVR brand, I think that's TiVo, which gives me some confidence about octet. 39 down, George Orwell's first name at birth. He was Eric Blair, was his true name. 40 down, purchase for the Atari 2600, a cartridge. It was one of those cartridge-based video game systems. We got one eventually, but our neighbors had one long before, and spent a lot of time at their house playing. It was a helicopter game where you had to go up and down. Okay, tech, detective, short for detective. This could be Iran or Iraq. 46 down, one of Adolf Anderson's sacrifices in the immortal game against Lionel Kizaritsky. I'm going to guess this is chess. And I think I've read about this game. He sacrificed his queen in order to win the game. So that fits with Iraq for a Persian Gulf nation. Queen would be something you might sacrifice in a very bold move in a chess game. Is that a cough I hear? Virus detected. Okay, the title of the puzzle was alert. Virus detected might be an alert. You get a pop-up on your screen or something like that. Also might be something you say if you hear somebody coughing. Out of. Still not getting that. I'm not sure about this marathon. It's some kind of error. A running error? Runtime error. That's another computer alert you might get. Runtime error. And you're talking about an error in somebody's runtime for their marathon time. 33 across, good for the long haul. 34 down, it's not optional, it's a must. 35 down, Silicon Valley Giant. Let's try Intel for that, I think. Then 49 across, mix up. Something could be to stir it, as in making a cake or something. Neat is tidy. And 60 across, stretchy material could be Lycra. So let me see if I can get this. Good for the long haul. A semi-truck would be good for long haul trucking. 27 across, some MIT grads for short. I think it's going to be electrical engineers. Probably ends in an S. To a lesser degree is a phrase you might use. Apple TV comedy. I want to hear about that. Like go on or out of disk space. I guess plates could be disks here. So it's not eggs on. Urges to attack. 6 on, like you sick a dog on someone. Fill me in or something for I want to hear about that. Domain for salty dogs. Let's try the C there. Let's try something me in for I want to hear about that. A stage booster. I was thinking of a rocket. Booster rocket is a stage of a rocket launch, but a stage, a music stage might have an amplifier, an amp on it to boost the sound of the music, maybe going all the way to 11. Ted Lasso is an Apple TV comedy, and it was very funny. I enjoyed it. William, Edward, and Harry might be dukes. Dukes of whatever. And we'll try disk space with a K. Yeah, that makes sense. Clue me in for I want to hear about that. TCI, that rings a bell as a cable company. And what blank, what else? For 7 down. As we get a couple loud semis going by on the highway outside my apartment. Okay, let's try here. 59 across, sci-fi princess is Princess Leia. 54 across, event for VIP customers. Is this some kind of sale? Easily detached, terrible, able to be torn. A pre-sale might be something you only invite your VIP customers to. 62 across, freight barge. I think that's a scow. 55 down, sightseeing list. Not sure. 56 down, forte or fort is loud in Italian or strong in French. I'll just try loud. That fits. 57 down, animal whose name sounds like a pronoun. You, female sheep. Something to use on your brake. A cue stick would be used in your billiards break, breaking in pool. 67 across, haunted house sound. Not sure. 65 across, La Città Eterna. I think that is Roma. The Eternal City. We'll use the Italian name since La Città Eterna is in Italian. Not fantastical for 63 across. Let's try real for that with an A, not a Z. German for city is Stadt, if memory serves. 70 across. Sorry, we'll have to put the old panes back in. So that's probably going to be something to do with Windows. We'll have to put the old panes back in. Window reload or something. 42 down, 1 cutting corners. A miter saw, I think, could do that. I remember my junior high school woodworking class. Trade discount quintet. Does that have all the vowels in it? A, E, I, O, U. Yes, it does. Okay. Something to pitch. You can pitch camp, I think. 66 down, Mathematician Lovelace is Ada. Ada Lovelace. 72 down, with in was. Was, I think, is in France. Let's try avec, the French word for with. 73 down, exam marks. Not sure about that. 61 down, V-shaped designs. Nope. 54 down, university worker, abbreviated. Let's try prof. University is abbreviated, so professor is also abbreviated in the answer. What is a haunted house sound? Sobs? I'm not sure about that. Windows update. Failed. Might be an alert you get on your computer. Windows update failed. We'll have to put the old panes back in. So this is not terrible. Is it tear away? A tear away piece of paper or something. Okay, so a howl of a wolf might be heard in a haunted house. V-shaped designs. Could be cheese something. There's 77 across. Tel blank is Tel Aviv, I believe. 78 across. Designer Saint Laurent is Yves Saint Laurent. Let's kind of keep going with the acrosses. 75 across. Group of humpbacks. I think whales are organized into pods. 75 down. Smallest Canadian province. I think that's going to be Prince Edward Island. PEI for short. Frayed is worn. Little bits of energy are ergs for 79 across. 89 across, gimme gimme. I need it, I think. Turning off the air conditioning as it kicks in. A court order for 71 down is a writ. And blank Bora, embattled Afghan region, is Tora Bora. Visit as for a safety check, 64. So if you're going to visit somebody for a safety check, you might look in on that person. 81 across, New Zealanders familiarly are Kiwis. 84 across, color of undyed linen. Ecru is kind of an off-white shade. And 86 across, course that doesn't require much studying, an easy A, probably. 91 across, these pancakes are piled way too high. I think it might involve the word stack. What's a computer alert that might begin with stack? I'm not sure about that. 82 down, Mallorca, por ejemplo. Por ejemplo gives us a hint. This will be a Spanish language answer. Mallorca is an island, and the Spanish word for island is isla. 83 down, reason for turbulence. Not sure about that. 92 down, ship that transported the Golden Fleece. I think that is the Argo, Jason and the Argonauts from Greek mythology. Exam marks for 73 down. Ticks. I guess your teacher might put little tick marks on your exam when grading them. V-shaped designs are chevrons. That makes sense. 85 down, anatomical appendage that only humans and gorillas have. Oh, I didn't know that, but uvula is that little punching bag in the back of your throat. So I think that fits with the U we have at the beginning. Stack overload? Is that a computer term? Like close-fitting clothes for 96 across. Let's try snug there. 103 across, undesirable roommate, maybe a slob. 93 down, hardly a team player, an egoist. Yes. And 109 across, isn't feeling great, ails. 65 or 68 down, human organ with the ability to regenerate itself. Okay, didn't know that, but let's try liver there. NHL team with the longest Stanley Cup drought, familiarly, is the Toronto Maple Leafs, I guess. 55 down, sightseeing list. Access, what? 87 down, modern seize the day. You only live once, YOLO. 88 down, stunned. That could be agog, or is this going to be something overflow? The stack overflow? That's not a phrase I've heard before. Stack overflow. But yes, pancakes I think is going to have stack in it. And they're piled way too high, they're going to overflow. Then odd for stunned. It's just under a foot. The sole of your foot is under your foot sightseeing list. An access log logs the people who have accessed your site. They've seen your site. Okay. Word found in all but 4 state constitutions, but not the U.S. Constitution. God. Interesting. Didn't know that either. 95 across, part of a bouquet in Bogota. We're going to use a Spanish language clue for Bogota, Colombia. Part of a bouquet is a flower. The Spanish word for flower is flor. 94 across, boxy transport. Let's try van for that. 98 across, another themed answer. Your emery board will never fit in this tiny toiletry bag. File size too full or something. Emery board is probably file, which is also a computer term. File too large. Yep, that fits. 83 down, reason for turbulence. Let's try a storm. Don't know why there's no sun up in the sky. Stormy weather since my gal and I ain't together. So we'll try stormy weather for the reason for turbulence. Symbol of transformation in the silence of lambs. The silence of the lambs for 107 across. I think that's a moth. Didn't he put a moth in the mouths of his victims? 106 across, part of MO. MO stands for method of operation, and the serial killer had a moth as part of his MO. I think in Latin it's modus operandi. Let's try operandi there. 98 down, like an unnatural smile, forced. 99 down, tech debut of 2007. Is that when the iPhone came out? 100 down, examine creepily to leer at canning package for 80 across is a severance pay. Is it just severance? I got severance. I got 6 months of severance. Okay. Large flightless birds are rheas, I think. Are they real or are they extinct? They're kind of like emus. Computer model inputs could be data sets. Corned beef for 120 across. 126 across, passes, enacts like a law. Has no stomach for is to detest. And spring forward hours is daylight saving time, DST. 112 across, National Poetry Month. Don't know that. Blank May Brown. Whoopi's role in Ghost. I think that's Oda. Or is it Ida? I want to say Ida May Brown. Maybe it was Oda May. Betrays in a way. Not sure. 113 down. Surrealist Magritte is Renee and Georgette Magritte with their dog after the war. Let's try April for National Poetry Month. The cruelest month, as Eliot said in a poem, I think. Betrays in a way to flip on, like an informant flips on his conspirators. 123 down. Illegally interfere with, as an election, to fix or rig. Your waiter's nowhere to be seen for 122 across. Server is a computer and waiter term. 127 across. Chips may go into it. Don't know. Doesn't care for. Let's try rig for illegally interfere with the election. 124 down. Remote abbreviation. VCR possibly. World's most produced organic compound. Ethene. I would say ethane, but let's try ethene. Property of curium, but not cerium. Curium and cerium. We have a hard C in curium and a soft C in cerium. C. I think that works. 115 down. Fit of irritation. Snit. Maybe 114 across. That ship has sailed. Server not found. Your waiter has disappeared. Server not found. Okay. Chips may go into it. Onion dip. You might dip chips into onion dip. Doesn't care for, neglects. So volume is a remote abbreviation. Snit for the fit of irritation. Hard C looks correct. And 125 down. Special blank. Special ops. Special operations. Puts up a false front for 104 down. Bluffs. 110 down. Eavesdrop. For example, might be to snoop on someone. 117 down. Fish and Niçoise salad. I think that usually has tuna in it. 118 down. Cuts off. Ends. 116 across is beverage brewed outside using natural heat. I guess that's sun tea. Jane, who received the Screen Actors Guild Lifetime Achievement Award. Let's try Jane Fonda for that. 131 across, unexpected jerk. I think a jerk of a muscle here, muscle spasm. So cuts off is ends, and actor Brody of the OC is Adam. Spasm and M will finish the puzzle. All right, we did it in just over 25 minutes, so in line with my usual time for a New York Times Sunday puzzle, usually somewhere between, it's rare that I get it in under 25, I think. I think I've done it before. And then the more difficult puzzles typically are over 30 minutes, but 25 is right in the sweet spot of my range. Okay, so that was clever. So we had, I wasn't sure what alert was going to refer to. It turned out to be messages, error messages, or warnings you might get on your computer screen. So they turned out to be all terms that might be used for the situations as described in the clue, but also common computer problems. And that was pretty clever. We had some crossword E's. We had Edom, which is a common answer. Tech, not an answer I've seen a lot. I think you have to go back to the Eugene Maleska days when tech showed up as a common word for private investigator. TiVo, Iraq, that was pretty good. It was a long time ago that Pluto got demoted, but I guess I still think of the planets as 9 planets because that's just the way I learned it in school, and things take a long time to get replaced in your mind, don't they? If you don't think about them a lot. Yeah, that was a good puzzle. I enjoyed that. Severance. Yeah, I wanted to put in severance pay, severance deal, something like that, but I think severance works on its own. All right, that was a good puzzle. Thanks so much for joining me. Please come back for more puzzling games, and I will see you next time.